Stop saving your best for later. That's the lie we've been sold. That there's a better time coming. That we'll have more energy tomorrow. That conditions will be perfect next week, next month, next year. But the truth is, perfection is a myth and tomorrow is not promised. Every time you hold back, every time you think, I'll do it later, you're playing a dangerous game with time. A game you cannot win. You don't own time. You borrow it. Every breath you take is a gift. And with that gift comes a responsibility to use what you've been given right now. The talent you've been blessed with, the vision you've been carrying, the ideas that keep you up at night. They were not meant to sit on a shelf collecting dust. They were meant to move the world, to shake someone's spirit, to unlock the greatness in others through your courage to share yours up. You keep thinking you've got more time, but what if this is it? What if this moment, this very day is your final opportunity to speak, to lead, to love, to create, to give, to change someone's life? Would you still hold back your energy, your passion, your fire? Or would you go all in? No hesitation, no reservation, no excuses. The truth is, we've gotten too comfortable with average. We've gotten too used to doing just enough to get by. You were not created to be average. You weren't meant to be safe. Boom. You were designed to pour out everything inside of you every single day. You don't become great by waiting. You don't leave a legacy by holding back. Look at the greats. They didn't save their best for later. They gave it all right now with what they had. They understood that excellence isn't a sometimes thing. It's an every time thing. And that means showing up with intensity and intentionality, whether it's your big moment or a regular Tuesday. If you're breathing, it's a big moment. If you're alive, there's still something inside you that needs to be expressed. The world doesn't need your someday. The world needs your now. Think about the ideas that never became books. The songs never sung. The businesses never built. The love never expressed. The apologies never made. Why? Because people waited. They waited until the kids grew up. They waited until they had more money. They waited until they had more time. They waited for fear to go away. But fear doesn't leave. You move through it. You face it and do it anyway. And that's what separates the average from the exceptional. Not talent, not luck, not connections, but the decision to act right now with everything you got. You think you're playing it safe by waiting, but you're actually losing time, losing ground, losing opportunities. Every day you wait is a day you'll never get back. Every day you withhold your best is a day you rob the world of what only you can give. You were given a gift, and with that gift comes a calling. You've got a purpose. You've got a purpose. You've got strength, but it only matters if you use it. If you show up with it, if you bring it fully, unapologetically, passionately into the room every time you walk in. Too many people go to the grave full of ideas, full of dreams, full of potential. Don't be one of them. Decide that you're going to empty yourself every single day. Decide that you're going to give your best today, not when it's easier, not when it's more convenient, but today. Because today is all you got. And what you do with it determines who you become tomorrow. Don't wait for someone to validate you. Don't wait for the world to give you permission. Give yourself permission to go all in, to pour yourself out completely, to stop holding back and start showing up like everything you do matters. Because it does. If you can speak life into someone, if you can write something that makes people feel again. If you can serve like lives depend on it, because they do. Whatever you can do it like your life depends on. Show up like your gift is a matter of life and death, because it is. Somebody out there is waiting for what you carry. Somebody's future is tied to your courage to be bold today. So stop playing small. Stop stalling. Stop saving your best for later. You don't know how much time you got, but you do know you got today. And that makes today the most powerful thing you own. So use it, spend it, burn it up, pour everything out, every drop of effort, every ounce of passion, every shred of your gift. Don't you dare take your best to the grave. Give it now, share it now, live it now. Because the cost of holding back is far greater than the risk of going all in. Don't wait for later. Later may never come. Today is your moment, own it. You've been taught your whole life to save. Save money, save energy, save your voice for the right time. But what if I told you that when it comes to your purpose, when it comes to your calling, when it comes to your potential, you're not supposed to save anything? You're not supposed to hold back. Humble kiss someone and tell them, you were created to give all of it away. All of your strength, all of your talent, all of your heart. Every single day you wake up is not just another day to exist. It's a day to empty yourself completely, because the goal is not to die with a full tank. The goal is to live your life in such a way that when your time is up, you've got nothing left. There's something powerful about showing up and giving your all, even when you don't feel like it. That's when it counts the most. Anybody can show up when everything is lined up perfectly. Anybody can give their best when they're motivated, when the sun is shining, when the crowd is cheering. But the real ones, the ones who change their world, the ones who leave a legacy, they show up and pour themselves out no matter what. When it's hard, when they're tired, when nobody's watching, when they feel like quitting, because they understand that their life is not meant to be stored. It's meant to be spent. You don't need to conserve your energy for some future version of you. You need to use it to build that future right now. Too many people live like they have unlimited time, like there will always be another opportunity, another chance, another season. But time is the one thing you can't recycle. Once a day is gone, it's gone forever. And you either use it well or you didn't. So why would you walk around with energy in the tank? Why would you get to the end of your day with something still left inside you that could have made a difference in your life or someone else's? Your potential means nothing if it stays locked up inside you. It only means something when you turn it into action, into impact, into transformation, into something that serves the world. Think about a champion athlete. They don't save energy for the next game. They give everything they got to the game they're in. That's the mindset you need to have every day. Don't leave anything on the table. Don't walk off the field of life with anything left. Give it all. Whether that means putting in the extra effort on your dream, pushing yourself harder in the gym, having that hard conversation, taking that scary step, loving your people fully. Whatever it is, do it all the way. It's not about being busy. It's not about being loud. It's about being full out in your spirit, your intention, your discipline, your mission. When you wake up in the morning, your goal should be to run out of energy by the time you lay your head down at night. Not because you wasted it, but because you invested in your growth, in your purpose, in people, in legacy. That's what living on E looks like. That's what dying empty every day looks like. Some of you are still running your life with the emergency brake on. You're scared to accelerate, scared to take a chance, scared to go full speed. So you're crawling through life safe but stuck, comfortable but unfulfilled. Let me ask you, what's the point of having a full tank if you never leave the driveway? What's the point of being talented if no one ever benefits from your talent? What's the point of having a calling if you never answer it? You're not going to get where you're meant to go playing safe. You're not going to make the impact you're capable of making if you're always trying to conserve yourself for later. There is no later. There's only now. Only this moment. And this moment is demanding the best version of you. Not the scared version. Not the lazy version. Not the average version. But the version of you that understands that time is short and purpose is heavy. And you got work to do. Big work, life-changing work, work that only you can do. And it won't get done if you're always reserving your greatness for tomorrow. You have to flip the switch in your mind and say, I'm not holding back anymore. But I'm not gonna wait until I'm ready. I'm gonna show up and give my best even when I feel my worst. I'm gonna pour it out every single day until there's nothing left. Because when you live like that, something powerful happens. You stop living in fear. You stop procrastinating. You stop procrastinating. You stop becoming. You stop becoming. You start tapping into a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. A version of yourself that doesn't need perfect conditions to perform. A version that creates breakthroughs by force of will. So when the sun sets and the day is done, let it be said that you left it all out there. Let it be said that you didn't hold back. Let it be said that you lived like your life had meaning, because it does. Comfort is a silent killer. It doesn't come at you loud. It doesn't scream in your face. It creeps in. It whispers, you've done enough. It says, so take it easy. It tells you to settle, to wait, to relax. But purpose doesn't live in comfort. Purpose lives in the stretch, in the grind, in the sweat, in the pain. It lives in the moments when you push beyond what's easy, what's convenient, what feels good, You weren't born to be comfortable. You were born to grow, to fight, to rise, to do something that mattered. But you can't do that if you're always chasing what's easy. You can't fulfill your purpose if you're always trying to avoid discomfort. The world has taught you to avoid pain at all costs, but pain is often the path to power. The resistance you feel, the hardship, the struggle, that's where the greatness is formed. That's where the purpose gets revealed. You don't find clarity sitting still. You find it moving forward, even when it hurts. Purpose doesn't show up when everything's perfect. It shows up in the chaos, in the fire, in the uncertainty. When you choose to lean into it instead of running from it, that's when you begin to understand what you were made for. Comfort keeps you in a box. It convinces you that the life you're living is good enough. But deep down, you know there's more. You know there's something bigger waiting on the other side of your excuses. And the only way to get to it is to get uncomfortable. That means waking up earlier than you want to. That means grinding when you rather sleep. That means speaking up when it would be easier to stay quiet. That means pushing forward when everything in you says, quit. Because your future self is counting on you to go through the fire today so they can live free tomorrow. Purpose demands sacrifice. It demands energy. It demands you show up when it's inconvenient, when it's painful, when you're not in the mood. Purpose doesn't care about how you feel. It demands that you honor the gift inside of you. You think you can pursue greatness and stay in your comfort zone? You can't. The two are enemies. Comfort tells you to slow down, to be safe. Purpose tells you to speed up, to take risks. Comfort says, wait. Purpose says, nah. Comfort says, this is enough. Purpose says, you got more in you. And you do, you got more in you. More drive, more creativity, more love, more power. But you'll never tap into it if you keep choosing easy. You got to get used to being uncomfortable. You got to train your mind to stop seeing pressure as punishment and start seeing it as preparation. Preparation. Pressure is not your enemy. It's the tool that shapes you. It's the furnace that forges your strength. Stop avoiding what's hard. Start embracing it. Because every time you step into discomfort, you get one step closer to the person you were created to be. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to challenge you. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And if you're not changing, you're not growing. If you're not growing, you're dying slowly in the cage of what's familiar. Don't let fear of failure, fear of rejection, or fear of pain keep you from chasing what sets your soul on fire. Those fears are lies. They're illusions designed to hold you back from your assignment. You gotta rise above them. You gotta walk through them. You gotta remind yourself every single day that your life has purpose, and comfort will never unlock it. There are people counting on you to step into your calling. There are lives attached to your purpose. But they'll never see the light you carry if you keep hiding in what's easy. If you want impact, you gotta be willing to be stretched. If you want legacy, you gotta be willing to bleed for it. The process will break you before it builds you. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's worth it. And that's exactly why most people quit. They can't handle the process. They want the reward without the work. But that's not how purpose works. Purpose doesn't come to the entitled. It comes to the relentless. So you've got to make a choice. Stay comfortable and live average, or get uncomfortable and die fulfilled. Wake up every day and choose purpose over comfort. Choose discipline over distraction. Choose growth over ease. It's going to hurt. It's going to be lonely. It's going to stretch you past your limits. But it will also change you. It will awaken parts of you didn't know existed. It will show you how powerful you really are. It will make your life count. You weren't born for safety. You were born for significance. You were born to stand out, to stand up, to step into greatness. So stop settling. Stop sitting on your gifts. Stop chasing convenience. Chase the calling. Chase the mission. Chase the impact. Chase the impact. Choose purpose every day, especially when it's hard. Because that's when it matters most. That's when you grow. That's when you become unstoppable. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't get the applause. It doesn't trend on social media, and it's not always fun. But discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you're called to become. It's the secret weapon that separates the talkers from the doer, the dreamers from the achiever. Everyone wants to win, but not everyone wants to work. Everybody wants the result, but few are willing to show up consistently, day after day, when the lights are off and no one is watching. That's what discipline is. Doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. Doing no one will ever give you credit. Doing it because your purpose demands it. You don't need more motivation. You need more consistency. You need to become a person who executes, not occasionally, but relentlessly. Discipline means saying no when it's easier to say yes. It means choosing focus over distraction, choosing effort over excuses, choosing vision over feelings. Feelings lie. They fluctuate. They're based on mood, on circumstance, on comfort, but discipline tells the truth. Discipline says, I'm committed whether I feel like it or not. It says, I will not let temporary emotion dictate permanent results. You can't build a legacy on feeling. You build it on routines, on habits, on sacrifices, on doing the hard thing again and again until it becomes who you are. That's the path. That's the price. And there's no shortcut around it. People think discipline is about restriction, but it's really about freedom. When you discipline your time, you take control of your life. When you discipline your habits, you unlock your potential. When you discipline your mind, you silence doubt, fear, and limitation. Discipline doesn't cage you. It frees you from regret. It frees you from the weight of wasted time, from the frustration of unrealized dreams, from the pain of knowing you could have done more but did. Discipline gives you options. It gives you mastery. It gives you peace. And you can't get that from comfort. You get that from doing the uncomfortable thing repeatedly until greatness becomes your new normal. It doesn't matter how gifted you are if you're not consistent. Talent without discipline is wasted. Potential without discipline is useless. Ideas are cheap, but execution is everything. You've got to stop waiting for inspiration to strike. You've got to stop waiting for the right move, the perfect time, or someone to push you. No one's coming to save you. No one's going to do it for you. You have to get up and do the work. You have to choose progress over perfection, action over procrastination, growth over ease. You have to become the kind of person who shows up, especially on the days when it's hard, because that's what separates the ones who wish from the ones who win. Every time you choose discipline, you build momentum. Every time you choose to stick to your plan, you strengthen your character. It's not about one big heroic effort. It's about hundreds of tiny choices made with purpose. It's about getting up 5 minutes earlier. It's about reading the chapter, making the call, finishing the workout, saying no to the distraction. It's about being faithful in the little things over and over until you start to see breakthrough in the big things. That's how you become unstoppable. Not all at once, but through discipline, repetition that reshapes your mindset and rewires your life. The truth is, discipline is love. It's self-respect in action. When you discipline yourself, you're telling your future self, I got you. You're telling your vision, now I believe in you enough to suffer now so we can shine later. You're telling the world, I take this seriously. That's how you earn credibility. That's how you gain influence. That's how you step into your purpose with power, not by being loud, but by being locked in. Locked into the process, locked into the promise, locked into the promise, locked into the grind that turns average people into exceptional ones. You have to understand that discipline isn't always about motivation. It's about identity. When you decide who you are, you behave accordingly. If you're disciplined, it's because you've accepted that excellence is your standard. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So build systems that support your success. Build habits that reflect your mission. Build a life where discipline is not the exception, but the foundation. You can't hope your way to greatness. You train for it. You prepare for it. You sacrifice for it. The ones who make it, the ones who live full and die empty, they are the ones who chose discipline when it was inconvenient, when it was lonely, when it was exhausting. They chose to keep going. Everything inside them screamed to stop. They chose structure when everyone else chose chaos. They chose to believe that every disciplined action, no matter how small, was a brick in the foundation of something eternal. Likes fade. Applause dies. Fame is temporary. But legacy, that lasts. Legacy is what you build when no one's watching. It's what you leave behind when the lights go out and the cameras stop rolling. Too many people today are chasing likes, chasing followers, chasing attention, and missing the real prize. They're obsessed with being seen instead of being significant. But lights don't change lives. Legacy does. You weren't created to impress people. You were created to impact people. You weren't designed to be viral. You were designed to be valuable. What you do today will echo far beyond the moment, but only if you're rooted in purpose, not performance. When you chase likes, you live on a surface level. You become addicted to external validation. You start to measure your worth by numbers on a screen, by how many people approve of you, how many people comment or cheer for you. But legacy isn't built in the spotlight. It's built in the dark. It's built in sacrifice. It's built in choices that don't get recognition. Nobody claps when you get up at 5 a.m. to work on your vision. Nobody throws a party when you say no to distraction so you can stay focused. But those are the choices that separate the ones who make noise from the ones who make impact. Legacy is about what you do with your life that outlives you. It's about how many people are better because you existed. It's about the kids you inspire, the minds you shift, the pain you help heal, the truth you speak, even when it's unpopular. And that kind of influence requires depth. It requires integrity. It requires consistency. You don't get there by trying to go viral. You get there by being real. You get there by staying committed to your assignment, even when no one is clapping for you, even when no one is liking your post or sharing your message. Because legacy isn't loud, legacy is loud. Legacy is lasting. When you chase legacy, you operate differently. You're not worried about what people think. You're worried about what people become because of you. You're not trying to be known. You're trying to make a difference. You realize that success isn't just about income. It's about impact. It's about impact. Every day becomes a seed. Every action a brick. You're building something bigger than yourself. And you know it's not going to happen overnight. Legacy requires patience. It requires resilience. It requires the ability to see beyond the moment and live for the mission. The truth is, chasing likes will wear you out. It's a never-ending race. No matter how many followers you get, you'll always want more. No matter how many compliments you receive, you'll always need another one to feel validated. It's a trap. But when you chase legacy, you find freedom. You find meaning. Because you know that every day you show up with discipline and purpose, you're adding weight to your name. You're adding substance to your story. You're becoming someone whose life speaks even after they're gone. You've got a decision to make.